gosh, it's almost winter. It's almost Christmas time. Christmas is next week. And everything is still really green. We've got no snow in the garden, but we have rock hay. And it's beautiful. Even in December, it's gorgeous. It's sweet, and a little bit spicy and amazing. So if you can grow the rock hay, we've got this great bed here that Nikki's put in from Rotherham. This is lovely. So we're going to come and get that. So I'm going to eat a bit.
I might edit that out.
Why not? Right, so what else do you want?
So how's the gardening year been for you? What's gone well for the crops? What's not done so well?
This garden is all about potential, and we have grown a few good things this year. We've had some great leeks, some great potatoes, some courgette this size. I don't know, you don't call them courgettes when they're that size, do you?
Marrows.
Yeah. Hard as a rock, gorgeous to, we cooked it like a squash, severed it in half and put butter on it, cooked it in the oven. It was absolutely beautiful. And then we have a pumpkin here that grew, and it was a beautiful silver pumpkin, absolutely amazing. I didn't know pumpkins grew in England, but I guess our summer was warm enough to grow. So where I'm from in the hot country, you know, miles and miles of pumpkins, but they need a good hot summer. And so those have been quite successful, those things. But I think it's all about potential, and we've planted loads of trees this year, and you're going to have to show the trees, because I think we're going to have a really good crop of apples in soon. They're all along the perimeter here, and hopefully you'll be able to see the garden when it's flourishing next year.
And have you increased the number of beds this year?
We've added all these new kind of portable container gardens that you can actually lift up and move as you see fit. We've added a few, and we've had some gentlemen from our neighbourhood who have joined, which has been really good. And we've had someone on the end who's added a greenhouse and he's produced some tomatoes this year, and we've had a good crop over at the end. And we have new people coming next year, a few new families. This bed's taken. I think 2 of those are taken next year, so I'm quite excited for that. Some small fruit bushes along the perimeters of the garden, just so it's used space. So where there used to be quite a bit of nettle and scrub, but we're going to contribute by adding some fruits for the birds and for ourselves. So we've got some blackcurrant down to the end of the fence line, and then we've got some lovely daisies that have been transplanted from Nikki from her garden. I think she saved them, that plan to fill in that space. And then over here we've got some red currants, these 3 here red currants, and then some lovely gooseberries. And this year is the first time I've ever had gooseberry in my whole life, and I love them. They're absolutely gorgeous. So we hope to treat them nice, and they'll feed us well. Great variety apples here that we've planted. And we're not going to let them grow real high because we don't want them to shade the garden, but we're going to keep them, kind of the orchard size, keep them trimmed. And the one story I have to say about this is some of these apples were planted in rock hard cement clay, but they're doing quite well because we've managed to fill it with compost. And after about 6 hours of back-breaking labor, one of our members has managed to plant a couple of them, so that's great. It did take a long time to plant these trees, so we hope they'll last. And end on my hand. We've covered over the beds, which I think is a good idea if you've got lots of compost and you've got neighborhood cats. This area my kids like to call the cat street, because there are quite a few cats that do come in, so we've kept it like this so we don't have a lot of muck to dig through. It should help keep weeds from growing in the spring and help keep things all together. Now, that's so cheap, that stuff. You can just get it at the garden center for next to nothing. Put it in. So we have this great windy house. Unfortunately, the kids are all in school, so we can't really show you what it's like when the kids are here. But I think one really good asset of the community garden is to embrace the children and give them something to do. Now, they are always up to their eyeballs in muck and mud, snails, you name it. They're always wanting to dig and plant and move stones. But occasionally they want to play house too. So we do have this windy house for them. I'm going to shut this door now so I can be a little more dignified.
Okay, fine.
Piano soundboard, which we are totally going to use next year in part of our rockery, as part of our landscaping, because we're quite proud of that. We might grow something up and around it. So I don't know whose piano it was and what it ever did in its life, but it's kind of a cool thing to have in the garden, in my opinion. Planting this beautiful pear tree here. This is what came out of the ground, and as you can see, there is so much clay in this area, and it's great if you're mining for clay, and it's really cool if you've got children and you want to build something. Look at this ball I've made. Look at that. It's almost solid clay. Got it? Look at that.
Yeah.
I've made a snowman for the festive Christmas season. Right there. But that was about 4 hours of digging, that hole.